I'm assuming that all of you guys watching this video saw my video yesterday about Call of Duty World War II, where for the very first time we found out that the creator class system, as we know it in Call of Duty, will be taken out of COD 2017 Call of Duty World War II and replaced with a new feature called Divisions. Now, creator class as we know it means the customization of your weapons, perks, attachments, camo, all of that stuff. And it looks like those things will still be implemented in some sort of way through this division system in Call of Duty World War II, but the creator class system is being revamped and completely changed for Call of Duty World War II. If you haven't seen that video, I'll link it on screen and down below, but today we have official information, actually from Activision themselves, about the 5 divisions that will be available in Call of Duty World War II. So just to reiterate, in yesterday's video, in just a few days' time, E3 2017 is kicking off, and I'm flying out to LA in just a few days actually to attend E3, which is very exciting. On the Monday, we will probably be getting some sort of World War II multiplayer reveal through the Sony conference, which is happening in the afternoon time, and I'm fingers crossed, hopefully going to get some early multiplayer gameplay for you guys, so make sure you're subscribing and staying tuned for that. I cannot wait for it. It should be absolutely awesome. But jumping back to the information that we've received since yesterday on divisions. Now, the information we got yesterday was through a PlayStation Q&A with the head leads of Sledghammer Games, the guys that are making Call of Duty World War II, and this comes directly from Activision today, leading up to the big E3 reveal in just a few days' time. It's going to be absolutely crazy. So Monday next week and Tuesday next week, those are the days you need to be looking at on channel. That is what I'm going to say. It's going to be absolutely crazy. So, looking at this article about Call of Duty World War II and generally Activision's plans for E3 next week, they say Call of Duty returns to its roots with a highly anticipated Call of Duty World War II, developed by Sledghammer Games. E3 will offer hands-on with the game for the very first time. I'm so excited and privileged to be playing the game, cannot wait, including a first look at Divisions, a fundamentally new way to focus on your multiplayer career. Players will join one of 5 iconic World War II divisions, each with their own unique weapons and abilities. Confirmation there that each division has different abilities and weapons is very, very important. Now, we speculated a little bit about how divisions were basically taking the specialists as we knew them in Black Ops 3, the weapons that we know within creator class, and dividing them up a little bit. And a lot of you guys pointed out that system is very, very similar to Battlefield, which is a fair shout. It is very similar in terms of the marksman, the medic, etc., and the way that they divide up their players. We've got some information today on how Call of Duty World War II will be dividing up their divisions. So, the first one is Airborne. First to the fight, where you will move fast and stay quiet. And I talked about how perhaps movement would be something that would divide these divisions, and it seems to be the case. So very, very interesting. It seems like a ninja, fast, SMG-like kind of role, where you get in there, you kill people, you're quick, you're nimble, and you're annoying to kill, basically, and you're just annoying the other team. Next up, we got Mountain, focusing on precise and deadly sharpshooting. This sounds like the kind of sniper, the go-to marksman role. Mountain, I'm assuming, is the fact that you've perched yourself up on a ridiculous mountain miles away and you're going for some crazy sniper shots, and that is your role. You're going for those long-range shots, you're annoying the other team, and you are very deadly if you can be accurate. I'm very excited to learn more about that division. Next up, we've got Infantry. Be the tip of the spear. I assume this means sort of like the frontline people that go into the action. That one is a little bit more cryptic than the others. However, we do have a badge for Infantry, because today via Twitter, Call of Duty tweeted out a little video that said the countdown to E3 begins. Technically, we're 5 days away, according to them. Maybe I'm getting a little bit carried away with saying we're only a few days away. But they posted the Infantry actual badge, or the little patch, and that gives us an idea if there's going to be a little patch, little badge related to each of the 5 divisions that will be available in Call of Duty World War II as well. And I assume that we have a badge released for the next 5 days leading up to the reveal, so we know what all 5 of the different divisions badges will look like, which is very cool indeed. We can know a little bit more about this division through the fact that the image seems to show more of assault rifle and not quite like sniper rifle marksman, but those AR type weaponry, so the M1, etc., and you know, the guns that we've been revisiting in all the Call of Duty games that will reappear in Call of Duty World War II. So this seems more like your traditional traditional, sort of more bog standard kind of Call of Duty character, where I believe a lot of his statistics, be it movement, weaponry, etc., be more bog standard and more sort of centralized. I won't necessarily have that one standout point. They're just great all-round units, basically. So, number 4, we have Armored, bringing the heaviest firepower. This, to me, screams LMGs. It screams perhaps a little bit more health, which is interesting. This almost feels like they're playing, I know it is Battlefield, but almost playing into the Overwatch type roles. Now, hear me out here. Overwatch is obviously very, very specific, very different specific roles and multiple characters like tanks, specialists, etc. Like, you have tons of different characters that do the same thing in slightly different ways, whereas Call of Duty is going for 5 divisions. But Armored sounds like a kind of tanky role. Maybe take a little bit more hits, move a little bit slower, deal a lot of damage potentially with your LMG weapon. So interesting. Armored sounds very interesting. LMGs have always been fantastic in Call of Duty. This could be a very deadly class indeed if you're willing to sacrifice that speed. Finally, we have Expeditionary Force, packing heat with incendiary cells. Packing heat with incendiary. I've been on a shoot day all day today, filming for Allier Superchargers. No word of a lie, I must have said 500 lines of a script to camera today. So if I can't say words, I apologize. I'm surprised that I'm even sat here making this video. I'm shattered, but when news like this comes out, I have to cover it. Packing heat with incendiary shells. You know what I mean if I'm not quite saying the word correctly. So this is more of a flamethrower kind of role, you know what I mean? They're more about those grenades, they're more about the kind of tactical role. They potentially could become equipped with flamethrowers. We've seen the flamethrower in Call of Duty World at War. We've seen the flamethrower in Call of Duty Black Ops 3. This seems more like the non-traditional role where you're using those tactical pieces of equipment to take down the enemy and fits into this Expeditionary Force role. So potentially 5 divisions that are really going to be heavily separated. And I know I kind of talked about this yesterday, but I wasn't quite sure if it's going to happen. But from what we've got so far, it does seem like they're going to be segregated a little bit more than even I expected. And of course, as we get the lead up to Monday, that's when we're really going to have all of this shown to us and confirmed. But it's great to know all of this already, just to give us an idea of what to expect when it comes to Monday, so it doesn't just hit us out of the blue and we're like, what the heck is going on? Now, yesterday I talked about some of the other multiplayer questions that were answered by the guys at Sledghammer Games, and we got more information just giving us an idea of what else will really be viewable and playable at E3, because of course this is the first time we see multiplayer, so not everything's going to be available, but a lot will be available. So they say, in addition to the traditional multiplayer, players will also be treated to a brand new mode called War. We talked about this yesterday. It's all about pushing forward, attacking certain points, defending certain points. War has been a mode in previous Call of Duty games. It was amazing in World at War, but I think this is going to be their own take on it. And developed in partnership with Raven Software, I talked about this yesterday, War mode is an all-new game mode where players must work as a team to defeat the enemy. The narrative-driven multiplayer experience immerses players in the iconic World War II locations with the Allied and Axis forces, with the teams clashing in team-driven assault and defend missions for key strategic objectives, bringing an entirely new dynamic to Call of Duty. I think it sounds great. I think this is less just push a position, push that, and more like specific roles and targets we have to meet and criteria that we've got to meet to be like, tick, your team gets that kind of thing, you know what I mean? Maybe it's get to a point and set something on fire. Maybe it's get to a point and kill 50 enemies within an area. Like, I think it's going to be pretty unique and not seen before in Call of Duty. They also say players will experience Headquarters, a franchise first, all new off the front lines experience to Call of Duty fans. Again, I touched this a little bit yesterday and how this is like the community hub central for Call of Duty World War II multiplayer. Outside of being in game, it's the kind of place where I assume you can interact with everything, choose your division potentially, and each division, it's worth noting, seems to have its own progressional system as well. Again, similar to Battlefield. I have to compare it to that because it's like, it seems like the most similar thing at the moment, where you rank up the airborne class and get more weapons for the airborne class, but if you don't go and rank up the armor class, you'll be stuck at level 1 and you won't quite have some of the better things. Everything progresses basically, so you need to be jumping in between all the divisions if you want all the weapons. And hey, it's very exciting for me. It gives me an excuse to play all 5 of those different divisions a ton, and I'm sure I'm going to have one that I stick to. You know what I'm like. Once I find my bread and butter, the things that work, I can't help but not deviate from them. But this is definitely going to push me out there to try a load of different things for sure, which is very exciting. Anyway, going back to Headquarters briefly, players will compete, earn rewards, show off their accomplishments, and connect with friends within this Headquarters hub. Unlike anything experienced in Call of Duty to date, Headquarters transforms the multiplayer experience by redefining how players engage with the game and each other. So it seems that the big pushes for multiplayer this year is the Headquarters experience, making that experience outside of just being in the game as interactive as possible. And if it's anything like Destiny, which I keep on referring to, when you've got the tower, you're moving around, you're seeing what other cool weapons everyone has on their back, you're seeing what rank they are, what prestige they are in Call of Duty. Obviously there isn't prestige in Destiny, just putting it out there. But you're basically being able to interact with everyone else that's playing in a community environment, which can hold up to 48 players, by the way. We know that because the back of the game pre-order consoles for Call of Duty World War 2 say up to 48 players, which is huge. And so focus on Headquarters, and then also a focus on these 5 divisions that I'm really interested in. Now, Black Ops 3, I remember sitting in Treyarch's offices about, 2 years ago now, and them telling me about specialists. I'm like, what you've created here is amazing and very defined, but does this fit the Call of Duty sort of the play style? I was really worried that the specialists would be ridiculously overpowered, their abilities ruin the game, but it was just a really nice addition for each player to have that little specialist experience each game, and it worked. Now, that was almost copied directly for Infinite Warfare. There wasn't really much change or innovation there. Apologies if you feel like it was a big change, but the rigs really were just specialists rejigged in robot form. This seems like they're really trying to not segregate, it's the wrong word, but divide the multiplayer experience into unique experiences defined by each role and different characters. And I don't know how I feel about it when I think about the fact that maybe I want to be an armored unit with an SMG, but I can't use an SMG within the armored role. So maybe if you want to be an SMG user, you're going to be tied down to specific divisions that won't allow you to use SMGs in other divisions, because as we know, abilities and weapons are tied to these divisions. So it's interesting. We're going to have to see on Monday, guys. Now, obviously, I'm preparing for E3 right now. I'm making a ton of videos. I'm going to be covering a ton of videos out there. And as news comes out, I'll be covering it all for you guys, just like I did yesterday and just like I did today. So stay tuned here. It is all very exciting. All I can say is keep your hat on, but not everyone wears a hat all the time like me. Just get ready, basically, for E3. It is going to be everything and more that we want to know about COD World War 2, and I'm so excited for it, and I'm so glad I can cover it straight away for you guys. So let me know what you think of all of these divisions down below in the comment section. Do you have a favorite division? Let me know one of the 5 divisions you are liking the sound of the most. Stay tuned for more information, guys. If more leaks or anything else drops, I'll be here to cover it for you guys. So let me know what you think of divisions, and I'll see you soon with another brand new video.